All right, so we have another set of tips for you. We're talking now about To Kill a Mockingbird by Harper Lee. Now, To Kill a Mockingbird and Tijon and His Brothers by Derek Walcott, Brett Eye's Memory, Tempest by William Shakespeare. These books, you are not playing books. You are not required to quote heavily. So you can just write about the storyline. Important things that happen, you might want to remember them word for word. For example, the definition of a mockingbird by Atticus Finch. You want to remember these things. So when Atticus said, a mockingbird doesn't do anything than provide sweet music for us, that is why it's a sin to kill a mockingbird. Things like that you definitely want to remember when you're talking about To Kill a Mockingbird. So things like that you will quote. Other than that, you're not required to quote anything. All you do is talk about what is happening in the drama, what's happening in the books, and then using that knowledge to answer the question that is being asked. Don't go telling the story. Use your knowledge of what's happening to go ahead and answer the question. At the end of the day, you have to answer the question. Right? Good. So let's talk about To Kill a Mockingbird. So in To Kill a Mockingbird, we are seeing a flashback being told to us in the eyes of a grown-up Scout. So Scout is the younger child of Atticus Finch. Atticus is the successful middle-class lawyer in this Makeup, Alabama, this fictional place. Now, Makeup, Alabama is a state or is a county that is deeply rooted in racism, desperately affected, badly affected by racism, and we see that. What is happening? The main storyline is with this Tom Robinson's character being accused of raping Emanuela Yule. What's her first name? Is that her first name? Miss Yule. So Miss Yule, Mewella Yule is making this accusation that he raped her. Of course, we all know that she had a hots for, don't write that, don't quote that. She had a hots for this black man, or she probably felt as though he was giving her attention and she gravitated towards attention. And because of that, when the father came and the father saw what was happening, he was perturbed. How dare you have relations with a black man? And he made her do what? He made her make an accusation of rape. That is fundamental. It tells us what? It tells us that despite she was willing to try to end the ideology of racism and having a relation with a black man, of course they were not having a relationship. Don't say I tell you that. They were not having a relationship. What happened is that she had somewhat of a crush on this guy, perhaps because he showed her some attention. And when that happened, she was caught with him in the same space, and the father made her accuse him of rape. At the end of that, what happened? He was put on trial for rape, and despite all the evidence showed he was innocent, he was still found guilty. The person who beat her up did so with the left arm. Tom Robinson was basically useless on the left arm, so it was impossible. Then it was also shown that the father was left-handed, so perhaps he was the one who beat her up. We know exactly that's what happened. And despite all of that evidence, the white jury still found him, Tom Robinson, guilty of rape. That tells us what? It tells us that despite all the evidence, racism wins in a racist society. And the point I want you to understand is that Robert Yule, was the lowest of all the whites. He was regarded as the bottom class of the whites. But despite the fact that he was a bottom class of the whites, he was still white. And if he were still white, then that tells us what? The society will still hold him above this upstanding, or I can probably say outstanding, not upstanding, what am I saying? I'm saying despite all that happened, Despite that Tom Robinson was this outstanding family man, this black family man, the society still regarded him as less important than this bottom class white man. So the racist society believed this same bottom class white man over this outstanding black man. And that tells you how racist the society was. What happened at the end? They claimed that Tom Robinson went ahead and attempted to escape from prison. Perhaps they shot him nonetheless, because again, we can't trust the racist society of the fictional state of Macomb, Alabama.